The new Citizen Series 8. I hope to share more of this series for sure. Now, this one might not be your jam. If it is, fine, watch the whole video, take everything you need from it, and make a informed decision on your purchase. If it's not, maybe still just listen, because we're going to cover a couple things that are unique to this watch and to Citizen that aren't shared with everybody. And I'm talking about the movement. But before we get to that part, we're going to talk about the watch and the size. So I measure the bezel at 40.4 millimeter. The reason I went with the bezel instead of from there to there is just, I think the bezel is going to be the best place to measure on this one. I know it's inconsistent a little bit, but I'm just doing it that way on this one. Now, the lug to lug, I measured the case where like a lug would probably be, and that's 48 millimeter. But then I also grabbed this measurement, which is a fixed center piece, because it is a integrated system here. And this from here to here is 53.5 millimeter, but you can see how much it turns down. It actually shoots even lower than the case. So don't freak out when you hear that 53.5 millimeter. This watch is probably still going to work on your wrist. The thickness is 13.9 millimeter. Again, remember the old SKX, the Seiko SKX, those are 13.5 millimeter. So this one being slightly thicker, really not a deal breaker for me because you're adding that extra complication of the GMT. Now, this width here, because it's not a lug opening, I just measured on the outside at 23 millimeter, and then the bracelet tapers down to 18 millimeter, and you have a very simple double pusher fold over clasp here. So that's clean, it works, gets the job done. There's no micro adjust. I would like to maybe see something like that, but I am happy that it's not a butterfly clasp, which is often used with these integrated bracelet style watches. The crown is oversized at 7 millimeter, or more proportionate rather for this case. It is just a push-pull crown. It does keep 100 meter water resist, so that is good. We have a bi-directional bezel here. It looks like a sapphire insert. It is a 48 click, and it is smooth and consistent in both directions. Now, as we take a closer look at the case on this one, I'm very interested to see the case construction. So you have two different colors here. They're slightly variant, from like a yellow gold to almost like a rose gold. I may or may not be able to show that with this studio lighting. You can kind of see it there. But also these bumps on the side of the case, when you look really close, the case construction is interesting. Because it's confusing to me. It messes with my head a little bit. You can kind of see there, and you follow the line. Yeah, I'd like to see this thing deconstructed almost, because this piece goes all the way up and around and over here, but then doesn't go any further. It's a very interesting case for sure. And check out the dial on this thing. Very busy with its texturing, nice applied logos, really nicely framed and kind of Frenched in or submerged in to the dial a little bit. Date window, that's how you frame a date window. All the other brands out there that just like frame it and just place it on top of the dial, don't do that. That doesn't look right. You have the GMT hand there, kind of color matched, kind of just blends into the background, has like a peachy orange color tone to the lume on that, and then you're going to have tons of lume on the hour minute hand as well. So pretty interesting job on that thing. Now the movement in this is where it gets even more interesting. You can see there it says caliber 9054. Well, what is that? Because we're used to the 9075, which produces the Traveler's GMT with the jumping hour, and that's also how you change the date and everything, right? So as you flip this around, you can see I can change it to 25. So it acts just like the 9075, and it is a variant of that movement, the best I can tell. However, the 9075 has been made available from Miyota or Citizen to third party, to micro brands or whoever else wants to use it. Now the 9054 is not available. The 9054 is held just for Citizen. So what is different on it? Well, it's still 4 hertz. The lift angle is still 51, has 50-hour power reserve. Here's where the changes come into play. I'm going to do a versus here. The 9075 is accuracy rated at -10 to +30. This movement, the 9054, is rated at -10 to +20. So slightly more accurate from factory. And the biggest thing that I've noticed is this one is rated at, and it even actually says it on the case back, I think. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, right there. It says magnetic resistant, 16,000 amp meters. I was unable, and if you guys can find it and school me, and I did a quick search, I wasn't able to just real fast, find the magnetic resistance in amp meters on the 9075, but I suspect it's much less than that 16,000. So there's different components used in the escapement, I believe, on this guy to increase the magnetic resistance. That's my best assumption. So let's put this on wrist. Big thanks to Richard and the entire crew at Saltzmans in Rhode Island. They are my preferred authorized dealer for the Citizen watches, as well as Breitling and Tag and Luminox, and there's a few others. I'll start to get more and more watches from them here as we go. But this new launch from Citizen, the Series 8, whether it's in a dive watch or a GMT or more of a sport watch, is just brilliant. I think this is a home run from Citizen. I look forward to seeing some more. This one's a limited edition. They're only making 1,300 of them. They're not numbering them, but they're only making 1,300 of this kind of root beer style two-tone gold colorway. So if this colorway is your jam, there's only 1,300 of them. A little bit heftier price point with this Citizen lineup. I think they're pushing upscale a little bit. So the retail price is $17.95. There'll be a discount code below in the description, as well as a direct link to the Saltzman's website with this watch. So check it out if you are in the area. There's 2 different locations, but if you're in the area of one of the Saltzman stores in Rhode Island, swing in there, try one on, and let me know what you think. I think they're great. So at some point, I probably will own one. Just need to get that right colorway. I need that orange dial, and I'll probably make it happen. So it looks like we have 2 different colors of lume on this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it showed 2 different colors on the under the UV light, which is weird. But then when you turn the lights off, it looks just all green to me. I was expecting a lumed bezel too. I gotta say, not disappointed, but I mean, it would have been nice. Anyway, I think it's a great watch. I'm looking forward to seeing more from this series, and potentially one that will fit my color palette. Thanks for watching, guys. Big thanks to Saltzmans. Tell them I sent you. Make sure you use that discount code. I'll see you on the next vid.